Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. Can you please raise your hand if you can see my screen and you can hear me so that I can start the presentation? If you just raise your little hand on your panel so that I know. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. My name is Rogelio Rueda, and today I'm going to talk about iVend Mobile Point of Sale. I hope you find this information useful. And let us begin. Let me see. Yes, I'm recording the session. Today we're going to talk about iVend Mobile POS, and basically we're going to cover the new features of iVend Mobile 2.7, which is the latest version of iVend Mobile. We're going to talk about how to install, configure, and initialize the software. We're going to go very quickly through a list of the hardware devices and the operating systems that are compatible with this latest version of iVend Mobile POS. We're going to do a quick navigation and talk about the key features. We're going to perform transactions. We're going to talk about suspending and recalling transactions from the mobile POS and the terminal POS. And finally, we're going to show you the transaction preview feature and the dashboards that are available on your mobile POS. Okay, so let's talk about these new features that you will find in, just give me one sec, on the mobile POS 2.7. First of all, you will see that a silent synchronization function is available now in the mobile POS. So you will see that as you work on the mobile POS, you will not be interrupted with whatever synchronization activity that is taking place in the mobile POS. Also, as a new feature in mobile POS 2.7, you will see that there's a big improvement in the initialization process. So the notifications on the screen are now available. You will see how the initialization process is taking place, whereas in the in early versions the application looked like nothing was happening. So now you're going to be able to basically follow the initialization process from start to end. Finally, there's a new feature in iVend Mobile POS 2.7, and that is that we are now integrated with the QBED all-in-one POS device. This is an Android compatible device that is now compatible with iVend Mobile POS. Okay, so let's move quickly to how we install the iVend Mobile POS. First and foremost, you have to be aware that there is one basic and very critical prerequisite for iVend Mobile POS 2.7, and that is that it is required that you are running on iVend POS version 6.5 update 4 or higher, which is right now is the latest release of iVend POS. Make sure you are using this version, because once you download the mobile POS, it will look for an iVend Retail 6.5 update 4, otherwise it will not work. Now, talking about compatibilities with both iOS and Android devices, we are right now compatible with iOS 8.0 or higher, and you see a list of the compatible iOS devices that we run in right now in iPhones, iPads, and iPods. We're also compatible with Android devices. Android 4.0 or higher must be the operating system on your mobile device. And we are basically compatible with Android tablets 7, 8, and 10 inches, and Android phones 4 inches and above. Okay, so first of all, when you are going to start working with the mobile POS, you have to make sure that you download the iVend Mobile POS app from either the App Store if your device is an iOS device, an Apple device, or from the Google Play Store if you are working with an Android device. All you have to do is, as you see on the screen, is search for the iVend POS application, and you just have to click on Get, and then basically you do an install. It is as simple as 1, 2, 3. You just click on the install button, and then your mobile POS application will install on your mobile device in a matter of seconds, basically. And the very first thing you do is you have to tap on the setup button that you see so that you can start working with your mobile device. iVend Mobile POS configuration is a real simple process. One thing that you have to do first on your iVend terminal POS, and you go into your management console, and then you create the mobile POS record for your new mobile POS. As you can see on the screen, once you select the mobile POS type, you will get the API token assigned automatically, and then that's the API token that you are going to use in the next step on your mobile phone, or your mobile device rather. So basically what you do is you go into your mobile POS, and once you click on your on the setup button at the home screen, if you select server settings, you have to make sure you select the deployment type option. You can either select iVend Cloud or on-premise. By default, your app will be in demo mode, so you can very easily start working with the application because it's got a demo database that you can use and play with full functionality. But once you want to connect to your store server or to your enterprise server, all you do is you change that deployment type to on-premise, and then you can either initialize over the air, or you can also do it through a backup. If you have connectivity to your store server, I recommend initialize over the air. It's a very simple, very quick process that you do on your mobile device. Then, of course, before you initialize, you have to make sure that you enter the full server address, including the port number that you're going to be connecting to. This is basically the store server IP address or the head office IP address if you're connecting to the HO directly. You have to make sure that you enter the API token code that you were given in the previous step on your management console. And then what you do is you check for server connectivity. Make sure that the address is fully it's in full, including the port number. And finally, on successful API health check, you just run the initialize process, which will take a few minutes depending on the size of your database, of course. And then once you are ready to go, you go to your management console. You open the management console and go to your administration, IT administration, API health check. And then you enter the full server IP address, including the port number. And you just click on the check button to check for the API health check. You have to make sure that you get a successful result. We're going to do that in a little while on the actual device. But for now, I wanted to share with you this. There is a full list of hardware and their supported iOS and Android devices. All you need to go is into go into the City Access Knowledge Portal, go to Document Store, Home, Product Documentation, iVend Mobile POS. There you will see this Excel spreadsheet with all the compatibility between devices and operating systems, whether it be a printer, a mobile phone, an iPad, scanners, cash drawers, etc. I highly recommend that you download this spreadsheet from the Knowledge Portal. Okay, so in terms of navigation and key features, let me very quickly move to my mobile POS. This is my management console. As I said, you have to go to retail configuration, POS. You will see that I have already created my mobile POS record. As you can see, there's an API token associated as well as a hardware ID. Make sure that you select the POS type as mobile. Then what you do is you want to go to administration, IT administration, API health check, and here you want to do your, let's just do quickly a CMD command so that you can confirm your IP address. In my case, 192.168.106. Let me just get out of here. So what you do is you enter the full address with the port number and you do a check health. And once you get the iVend API test call with a successful status, then you're ready to go, basically. So let me show you my mobile device. So once you install your iVend Mobile POS, you just start the application. As I said, if you go into your setup button at the beginning, you will see that the server settings are already there. You can check for server connectivity, and you have to get a API health successfully completed. Then, of course, you run the initialize process, which I already did. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to log in. Okay, so by default, the the mobile POS starts with the cash customer, and it's basically ready to go. So let me just cancel out and show you the main screen. We're going to do a quick navigation. Here's where you select the customer from the customer list. You can search customers by code, by name, for example. David Miller. You can search also by phone number. By code. And in the iVend POS user manual, you will see a full list of the different transactions that you can perform on the mobile POS. As you can see on the screen, specific mobile transactions are grayed out because for those you need a named customer. All right, so as soon as I select a customer, you see that different transactions are now available. So basically, this is the navigation that you get to experience on the mobile POS. Let me just quickly go back to the presentation for a minute. And yeah, we're gonna just go back and do a few transactions. So as I said, you select the customer from the left. Once the customer is selected, then you go ahead and do a sale. You see a list by default. You see a list of the items on the left. You can just scan through the whole list. You can also use a button panel. You can configure the button panel as per your needs. You just go and select the items from the button panel. You click save every time on the top right corner. But you can also use your camera to scan an item. So let's look for the barcode here. So that's my Coca-Cola save. And you can also use a catalog in your mobile device. Let's look for description. Coca. Okay. You can also filter the products by product group. For example, I want to see books. So all I see is books here. You can do books and electronics, for example. Okay. Let's clear the list, go back, then go back to the list. And then you can also, once you are done with the transaction, you can just go and I have the validation enabled. So for any promotion or any discounts, I do a validation before I finish my my transaction. So if you notice on the first item, there's a discount of basically 10% that applies to that specific item. So I'm going to pay credit card for this sale. So what I do is I enter my credit card number. I enter the expiration date, the CVV, and I can even, do my signature. I save the transaction. And then I complete the transaction. I can even email my receipt. So I'm going to email my receipt to me. Send. Let me just very quickly turn this off so that I can let's see. Okay, here's my receipt. So I'm getting my receipt over the email. Okay, so that was one quick example of one transaction. There's also refunds, quotations, dashboards. In order to preview a transaction, you just click on preview. Let me do it again. Preview transaction, and it will show you all the last transactions done on your mobile POS. As you can see, there are some suspended transactions that I did in the last few days, but also other transactions like this one. This is a sale. So I click on preview again, and I get to see the details of the transaction. I can also see a quotation. I can email that quotation using the email button here. Okay. Then on suspend and recall, let me quickly show you. I am going to create a transaction for Mr. Stephen Green. It's a sale transaction. And I am going to select, a couple of items from my list. And then I'm going to do suspend. Okay, so this is Stephen Green buying 2 items. Let's say that one of the uses for the mobile POS is to, as a line buster. So you can have your salespeople running with mobile devices on your shop floor, and then you can have the customer, if you don't want to invest in like printers, mobile printers, and and scanners and all that, you can always send the customer to the cashier for payment. So for that, you suspend the transaction. Okay, so Stephen Green, then I suspend the transaction. I can ask the customer to go to the cashier. I'm going to turn off this for a little moment. Okay, something happened to my reflector. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recall on that transaction on my terminal POS, and I'm just going to go ahead and complete the payment. Okay. We have a question. Look, can we look up a specific customer history on the MPOS, like while they are standing there to help sales? We cannot actually. You can. Let me see if I still have my reflector available. Hold on one second. Okay. Look up for a customer. Not really. Steve, you cannot see the customer history on the mobile POS itself. Let me see if William Davis. Not really. You do have, well, you have preview transactions. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see. Davis. Search. Okay, let's try another one. Let's cancel here. Let's see, who is this? Gosh. Williams. Search. No, I don't think that's... oh, sorry, customer name. Yeah, well. Williams. Yeah, you know, to some extent, you can search the transactions of one specific customer just the way I did. Just go into preview transactions, and then you enter the filter with customer name or customer code. That's how you do it. Okay, so again, like I said, you can create the transaction, suspend on the mobile POS, and then you can recall the transaction and get collect the money on the terminal POS. Or you can also, you know, recall a suspended transaction here by just selecting and doing preview recall, and all you need to do is, you know, get the payment for that. Okay, it's already recall. Sorry. Let's try another one. Preview transaction. Let's see this one. Okay. Let's pay with cash. Okay. Again, I can print. I don't have a printer connector right now, but you can always email the transaction. And from your terminal POS, you can do a transaction search and, you know, recall the transaction from your terminal POS. Okay, another thing I wanted to show you very quickly is the dashboards that we have. You click on dashboard, and as you can see, you have a few predefined dashboards. On your mobile POS, you have your transactions by value, transactions by count. Okay. You have sales, refunds, quotations, gift certificates. You can also have a quick pie chart of your tender collection, how you have been collecting the money, by cash, by credit card. You can even have a transaction detail, all the transactions that have been done during the day. A tender detail, how much I have collected from my customers in cash, in credit card, in gift cards. And finally, you can have a next tape report. Of course, you can print this out. And that's how the dashboards work on your mobile POS. Let me just quickly go back to the presentation. Okay, I think we did suspend and recall. We did the transaction preview and the dashboards. Basically, this is how I finished my presentation, and I'm now open to any questions or any comments that you may have. Let me check my dashboard here. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Also, you can hold on into the items. Okay, you want to see if we can drill down on that transaction and see, yes, basically. So basically you go to preview transactions, and well, once you find, let's say, customer name, let's look for Thomas. I hope I understand your question. So you're saying you want to select that transaction and drill down. That's how you see the items that this customer purchased on that specific transaction. If there were more transactions, you would see all of them. So basically you select the transaction and you see the items on the left. I hope I answer your question. That is part of clienteling. Yes, it is. Okay, so any other questions? I would be happy to answer for you. And like I said, my email is rogelio.rueda@cdaccess.com. In case you have any further questions or any comments, you are more than welcome to share with me, and I will try to look for an answer for you. Other than that, thank you very much for your time and your participation. I will looking forward to any comments or any questions that you may have. Thank you. Have a good day.